Shalom and good day all. This is Tehillim29 with my good friend here, Tavia Smoker.
Hello.
And today we're actually talking something sort of Super Sons related.
Yep.
And you know what? It's really nice to have something else sort of Super Sons related again.
Yeah.
And it's
some massive books that came out, the Omnibus.
Yep. That is one good thing, and it's definitely worth picking up. And I hope you enjoy this stream because, well, we're going to talk about and also share some things on the recent webtoon that came out.
Yep.
And one good thing about this webtoon, I really like that, number one, it's free to the public to read, and I think it will actually help get DC Comics some of their missing readers back. And I really like the look of it. What were your thoughts when you read through the first 3 episodes of what were your thoughts, Tevye?
I thought it was fun. It was adorable. It was cute. It was funny. But you knew what it was. It said a life story. But I like born study life stories. It's actually fun and it's funny. Adorable.
It was really good. I do admit that it was really good, and I liked that it actually showed, like, with this particular story, or with these particular stories, that we had, of course, Damian Wayne greeting Duke Thomas at the door. I thought that was really good, but my only small criticism, but I could bring that a little bit later, but I'd also like to share you got your own up. I did the same thing. Good minds think alike. I thought Damian felt a little bit too young for it, but even though it is what it is, this really gave me some Rebirth vibes.
Yeah, it did.
It really felt like it gave Rebirth, which is something that was missing in the present day DC Comics.
Yeah, everything. And fuck them with John Kent, and I'm going to destroy them in the garbage. Depressing downward spiral.
Yes, even though we dislike that is presently happening in the present DC universe, I did actually send a question out to, and I still haven't gotten a response yet. And I'd love to hear a response from the people who worked on this particular webtoon. And my question is, did they actually get any inspiration from Peter J. Tomasi? Because, even though it felt like Rebirth Batman minus Tom King off the title.
To be fair, on talking about the story, it was good. But when they went to the wedding, it went all crashing down.
That I totally agree with.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got someone who's made it. I clicked the link. Man, it seems like you guys love it. So I'm gonna try.
I think it was a shot. It's kind of fun.
I did like it. I must admit, I did like what was offered. I thought it was really clever in its approach. Yeah, I still disagree with sort of like the down age of Damian. I've heard some people complain about Damian's complexion, but if you ignore that, you've actually got yourself a pretty decent story.
Yeah, skin doesn't matter. All I feel you have to cut. It's a different interpretation, different universe. Like, I'm so tired of people. Okay, that word has got all meaning. I need to land. It's like, stop calling everything word. Like, I'm so tired of that word. That word has got all meaning. As I said to whatever months ago, that word means nothing. It means talking shit. You have to turn out an actual word so it actually, well, in fact, you actually took the act definition, but they twisted it and messed it up when we, like, everything go like, no, you you're just listening, don't even call it word or bullshit. That's called bad. That's all, that's the proper word. Stop using the same terminology. That's like crazy. Of people saying that we're like woke or that bullshit. Like, try to fuck off voice. I'm just tired of the terminology. It's driving me nuts.
It was pretty crazy. Some of the things that have been happening in relation to the characters of the Super Sons, and it's interesting too that as I look over sort of like the things that are getting more views, just in my own channel, you'd be surprised, but the Superman Son of Kal-El, which I refuse to call Superman, Son of Kal-El. No, it's Superboy. I mean it. It's going to be Superboy, Son of Kal-El. Even though they've branded it Superman.
Except John cannot earn that yet.
Yes. That I totally agree. He has not earned the title yet. Even though, yes, he's done like a number of things before that. And I still love the Peter J. Tomasi Challenge of the Super Sons. Yes. Even in revisiting it in the physical, I really love doing that too. Even though there's sort of like been one slight change, which I actually got to share on Nerdette's Newsstand channel recently too. And that was really good too. Just to jump on her channel for a little while, and we got to have a
it was fun.
And even Tevye ended up going onto the channel, because at first I thought, do I want to jump on or not? And then it wasn't long after you jumped on, I thought, what the heck, I'll give it a go. What worse can come out of it? Nothing much. But overall, we had a pretty nice discussion with Nerdette when we both had our turns, and I must admit, she's a lovely member of the community.
Yeah, she's nice. She's a nice person.
Yeah, and I also enjoy it too when she leaves a comment on the channel or comment on one of my reviews. Hey, if you love it, you love it. If you hate it, you hate it. I'm not going to stop you from loving it or hating it. That's not my place to do that. It's like the same thing with myself and Brian Michael Bendis storytelling, and I know I'm not the only one who doesn't like the Brian Michael Bendis storytelling in DC. And hey, there are some people who enjoy reading his DC. That's fine. But you know what? I'm glad that I have found something that brings me to a mutual ground to things that I enjoy of his, and that is his Jinx World stuff.
His Jinx World was good. Even I've not read it, I did hear it was good.
Yeah. Even though I've read quite a bit of his Jinx World, I enjoy it more than both his DC and Marvel. Why? Because it's a lot of his early stuff and his early beginnings, and you can see that he actually has a love for like the characters of his own universe. But when it moves to sort of like characters of a different universe, it feels like he needs a bit of sandpaper, in a metaphorical sense, to round off some of the rough edges.
Yeah. Like,
go ahead.
Here's the thing. I really, I think from coming out here to see Hobo Wood, even I do own the hardcover. When John can shoot me out in that book, it made sense. Well, then no, Hobo Wood was a prequel or everything. I really, it's still a great story, even at Super Sen vibes. But see Dead Planet. I mean, for that, it might be just a good band to John and Democrat Super Superman. because father died and deceased. Technically.
Yes.
So that makes sense. Like, I just don't get it. Like, hit it.
Yeah,
I think introducing himself was good. I think that issue was good. It's just my main criticism generally, I miss John and Tanner, so I wish we got to that point naturally. Like, if you want John and Superman, fine, but do it naturally, not rush it like Bendis.
Agreed.
I get how they're trying to undo that, and they're trying to do better. I do respect how they are. I respect the guy doing it. I know the guy who do it. In fact, I think this story so far, issue 2, issue 1 were good. Whereas I know somebody did it. No, they did put it right. 1, who cares? 2, John Kent did try to protect as he does, which he did. Yeah, if you ever see the end, that did piss me off, but fine. You went out and go for it. Be a friend. Fine. I made him on bad after that's cute. Went to somebody to get me. No, he's not. But that's a new character. We know where to get more about that. And the main villain is that's a Wildstorm villain from Midnight Apollo from the Authority.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know about that. I did not know that guy. What about Wildstorm? Which is John going out to be this Wildstorm.
You mean the Henry Bendix character?
Yeah, him.
Yeah, okay. I might have made an error because I didn't know that he was connected to Wildstorm. I actually thought he was connected to the Elites.
Yeah.
From what I heard from another channel, so I made an error on that, and I'm happy to admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Like, I did not know that guy was Wildstorm because full disclosure, I know Red Wildstorm that much. I don't. The only time I know him in Apollo, and that's it. I only know about them for other sources.
Yeah, I almost thought Henry Bendix was a take on actually Brian Michael Bendis as a villain.
Well,
just because of how the surname's done. Thought,
yeah.
Hey, this would be fucking great if it was. Hey, good to see you, Brightest Day. Welcome to the stream. And definitely check out Brightest Day's streams when he gets them up. I think he's actually got something planned for today as well. We're presently talking about the DC Comics webtoon. And you probably missed out what we said earlier, but I'll reiterate. The feeling of this particular webtoon, it definitely gives the feeling of early Rebirth. Like,
yeah.
Oh, you just finished it. Oh, that's good to hear. It actually the feeling. It actually gives the feeling that it might be very similar to DC Rebirth when it first started, and it was really good. It was really fantastic. All 3 episodes of like what they show here, even though there are going to be more episodes that are going to be coming up, they're going to be free. I think
the question is how long it is going to be free. Because the webtoon did think it be free forever.
Yeah. I think they're going the right way if they sort of like allow free issues to be read.
Yeah.
And it should actually generate some interest to people who might want to check out DC Comics. Another thing I'd sort of like to add as a criticism, and I think it will also help DC Comics like draw people to not just the comics that they sell, but also the trade paperbacks too. I think,
and the hardcovers.
Yeah, and the hardcovers. One thing I'd like to see DC do with this, and I think it could really work, especially in this format, is that at the end they could use this to promote, say, maybe new DC comic issues that could be coming out that particular week, or they could also use it to promote even older DC comic titles, including the Rebirth, because This literally feels like Rebirth.
Yeah.
It really has the Rebirth vibe to it. And I think if they were to promote even the Batman Rebirth, the Superman Rebirth at the end of it, you could get people to go to their LCS, go to Comixology, or go to wherever they go to get their comics. And they'd like to say, I read through this webtoon online. And after reading this webtoon online, I saw it promote this DC Rebirth title, or this DC Infinite title.
Yeah.
And with it, like, showing maybe, if I were to give a total of how many titles that I think it should probably show, but yes, Rebirth would definitely have to be included. You could include one from Rebirth. If you want to show something from New 52, go ahead, show something from New 52. Or even the DC Death Metal, you could do that as well. And maybe something covering the present, like what's happening in the present.
Yeah.
Looking at the webtoon, Bruce should get a DNA test on Damian.
Well, yeah.
Well, I think that's already happened once in the comics.
Yeah. Oh, did the right thing wearing his New 52 costume and normally you get why? Like New 52, like New 52 was really not great.
Oh.
But you know what? I got them on pop. I got to enjoy it. And episode 2 was really funny.
Oh, Teve, you do actually bring up an interesting point, though, and that was also linking to the costume that I did actually notice in this particular story. And when you first see the costume, it's not quite the Rebirth costume that's done by Jorge Jimenez. It doesn't sort of change to that to, I think it's episode 2 and episode 3.
Yeah.
So I'm accepting it just as a small error on DC's behalf. I'm not gonna ultimately criticize it because overall the costume for Damian was all right. But
yeah. The comic Tim Drake I'm talking about, and
yeah,
I hated the Tim Drake costume because that costume was very big during that New 52 era.
Yeah.
I
also like that they did the Tim Drake Red Robin costume for this. I think it really worked. And it's nice to see Tim Drake as Red Robin and not Tim Drake as Robin lost in his own universe in DC Comics. With
the bisexual stuff.
This webtoon feels like it might actually have some direction.
Yeah.
Whether it's got like a good beginning, middle, and end, time will tell by the time we reach probably episodes 12, 13, 14, maybe even...
How long did the thing will keep going?
Yeah, depending on how much media attention it gets, plus those who follow it in general comics. I have also been requested by one subscriber on my channel to actually go and check out some webtoons. And they sort of like brought up some things. I think it was God of High School, Tower of God, I think it was. Or, that too is something that I have been asked to do and check out. And I wasn't sure.
Boxer.
Yeah, like they've got quite a big list of what they have in their own universe in the webtoons.
Yeah,
and
there's some super stuff they have in the Toasted Dude, somebody. You waiting man, urban animal. What? That sounded weird to me. Also, one character the vision, so the chick. What?
Yeah, there's Tower of God.
Let her cry.
Yep.
Vulcanite. What? Star Class.
And
it's something to be sense in the universe. I do a little stuff sense in the universe, but the other stuff I don't know. If I would work, 1 second.
yep. What I'll do is I'll move over to its genres. It's where you see some of the genres. All right, this is like some of its drama-related stuff, and it can also sort of like cross over with some other things, sort of like slice of life. And many that you do see here are slice of life. Then of course,
I don't watch any of that stuff, so I don't really care about that stuff.
Then we
What
move.
was the Futaba from Persona?
And as you can see, there's quite a big list here. And well, I was also hoping today my latest comic book haul video would have gone up today, but because of the delays through Australia Post, I thought I might as well cover something that's presently being talked to. Is all of it free? Pretty much, it basically is. A lot of the Webtoon stuff is free, including
at least for now. Some stuff you have to pay for.
Yeah. Look at this. I just jump into the comedy section, and it also includes the Batman Wayne Family Adventures, a part of the comedy section.
That's funny.
No, it would be interesting if a little bit later on that they might bring in a little bit of action into the Wayne Family Adventures.
Yeah.
To which it's sort of like exploring all of the genres. Of course, we got the boxer.
My hope it did succeed. This can over for a Super Son at the webtoon, but I haven't before more time. We need Son Super Son to or something. Ever since John ended, my heart been breaking. We have not read.
Yeah, I really want to see. I really want to see the Super Sons back as well. So that makes 2 Super Sons readers that wants our Super Sons back. And one thing that I've also brought up before on a previous live stream, actually it was a Rainbow Press and Comics related one, is that in manga, for example, they do actually provide a way to which in some stories a character can be aged up, but in the process of it being aged up, they sort of like throw on a time limit as to when that can occur, but they also do it in reverse as well, sort of like with the Case Closed manga, to which that involves sort of like one character who pretty much has to solve a lot of crimes, find the people who are responsible for aging him down or de-aging him.
Yeah.
And back again, jumping into the slice of life manga, webtoons. Like, a fair amount of this is free. Like, a huge fair amount of this is free. You could even choose to become a publisher on here. Romance, superhero, Reawakened Man. Some of these I haven't even read, but they do actually cover their own characters. And I like that they do pretty much explore every genre. Now, this is one thing that this is one that I have actually heard about called Unordinary. I've checked out
Never heard it.
The first couple of episodes in relation to it. It is interesting, but
no one in the high school where the social elite have the always what? Hang on.
Okay.
Presenting power and ability with Jonathan in a secret path that fund to bring down the school's whole social order. Ow. I know where this is going. Fuck. This gets dark, doesn't it?
in some part.
Gotcha.
But it's also a character, I believe, that was one sort of like high up, but they're realizing like once you do reach the top, there's not much there, and they've sort of like taken the time to dethrone themselves, but also try to help others learn their lessons as well as he still learns his. Where was I? Superhero. Then we've got sci-fi, rebirth. This is the webtoon version of rebirth.
Nice. What's it?
All right, let's check it out. All right, what's it got the shit about?
What would you do if you were given a second to turn back time? Or you your past? Would you do what you did back then for fear or butterfly effect? Or would you take them and put back and let the future speak for itself? Let me guess. This guy goes back in time, he fucks at the past, and then it fixes. I think. It could be wrong with that, or just reincarnating stuff.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Sci-fi thriller for people who enjoy their thrillers.
Supernatural.
Shotgun Boy, Uriah, Money Game, Tales of the Unusual.
No.
Fast Forward, Shiloh, The Horizon. That looks interesting. It's new. Then we've got Supernatural, Unholy Blood,
Roommates.
I'm the Grim Reaper, Anti-Stalker.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Covenant, demon stuff. Shiloh, Officer stuff. Spirit Hunter, find spirits. Yeah, Undead. That's funny.
Quite a bit there. Faust, Firebrand,
Showmax, Williams
Lowell's
Curse,
Curse.
Shift Society. What?
And
These are weird.
Yeah.
Heartwarming sports and outdoor sports. I used to not anymore.
Then we've got some mystery related stuff. Parallel City, that sounds like it might be interesting. Dr. Frost. Sports related. Historical, things that examine and look at the past, or look at some past events, but done in like a historical fiction story. Heartwarming. And I think that's pretty much the end there. Oh, horror, which could probably go alongside with thriller. Staying healthy together. And informative, of course. So there's quite a fair amount there.
Mm-hmm. What's in the bowl? What? For now, we have Fast Pass. What is Fast Pass? You know what? I don't want to know.
All right. Well, we'll get back to here.
Yeah.
I must admit, it really is really good to see this. Like even the introduction to Duke Thomas into this story, is well done.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got him meeting Bruce Wayne.
Yep.
And it's like very clear as well with like showing its cast of characters. And I like that. I really like that because, yeah, it's now saying that, yes, Bruce Wayne is now Duke's mentor.
Which, if we're going by the not, okay, if we're going by New 52 or near the end of the New 52, more beside Duke got to watch his parents and I'm guessing their navigation signal were combined both rebirth and post DCU.
Yes.
Which is
And
it's active if you contemplate.
And it's fantastic here of what it says with Alfred.
Yeah.
Alfred Pennyworth, aka the butler. He's the best of them. Agree. Without this character, he's literally the glue that holds everyone together.
Yeah.
I love this for Damian Wayne.
Yeah.
Damian Wayne, aka Robin. He's
It's
still in it. He looks at least, I don't know, 9 going on to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I would have preferred him to be a little bit older, sort of like the match, or to sort of help match present day.
Yeah.
I think that would have slightly worked better. But I do actually like his casual dress that he's wearing.
Yep. It's adorable.
It is. It's amazing. And he gets to meet the other members of the family, and
That's funny.
this is fantastic. I love this scene.
Yeah.
Oh, Damian will just show you around the place, and as you go around, you see how excited he is, and Damian's sort of like, yeah,
whatever.
yeah. The family, and he starts off by sharing with the portrait.
My dog going to send you around Route 5. We need to get that put up there. That's funny.
It is fantastic. And you get to see who makes up the portrait. Of course, we've got Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and of course himself. Oh, do they all live here? The others are in and out. That is so cool. Then he takes him directly to his room, like the room that he'll be staying in. And I must admit, it's a pretty nice bloody room. I'd love a room like that. Hey, at least I get to see it in the comics, not so much in real life. But it's a nice escapism.
And we need scared him more than ever these days. The real one sucks right now.
Yep, and he shares that there are places in the house where it's used to help cover his father's identity. And I love it when they actually start to come into the Batcave.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been meaning to ask, what's with the dinosaur? And I love Damian's response.
Yeah.
Eats intruders. That is the best as response that I love from Damian Wayne. And it actually feels like Damian Wayne's character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That he would say shit like that. And he's like, whoa, cool. I'd be careful about moving about the grounds. And then, why? Booby traps. And the look on his face, I love it. It's sort of like, you're cunning. You can definitely see it's some of his he's cunning.
Yeah.
And there he goes. Can you go to Alfred? He speaks to welcome to the manor, I suppose. How was the tour? I didn't realize that dinosaur could take out intruders. And you got like the little look here from Bruce Wayne's face, as if like, what? Oh, I think Damian might have been having a little bit of fun, and he realizes that the dinosaur is just a souvenir from an old case. That is really nice, but I can't believe I thought you'd movie trap the backyard. Actually,
No, actually, true. I heard something really good just a few weeks ago.
and that is good. It sort of feels like it works a little bit. Don't worry, we only arm it at night.
Yeah.
Then we get like some of his thoughts around it, and I like that we're seeing this from Duke's point of view with the story.
Yeah.
And it's really nice of how they bring that across, like for the first story. And of course, you get his thanks, and we get a slight overlook in regards as well to the mansion, the Bruce Wayne family mansion.
Yep.
And then we reach the credits, and I must admit, wonderful job from all the people who worked on this.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. The lettering was good. Whatever the flats are meant to be. The backgrounds and rendering by Landmark, they were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The writing I enjoyed. The inks, I think, really worked.
Yeah.
And of course, stating that it's from the DC Comics characters.
And from
I feel that, like, at the end here, at this last little bit here, that they could include something like to help promote the comics.
Yeah.
Because it just feels so bland. Like, it really does. This last bit feels so bland. And
well, no, webtoons, they're not like physical, so like,
yeah.
get it.
And this is why I bring up that small criticism. Like, if they want people to start to be drawn to their comics, okay, also use this opportunity as well to promote, like, some of the comics that might be coming out. Like, that is the only small error that I have against it, but it does sort of, like, show in all 3 of the episodes. Now, we'll move into the next one. This was really funny. I love
it. This made me laugh.
Of course, we get to see the members of the Bat family, and it sort of feels like, okay, everyone's done for today. Now they're back home. There's Damian.
Yeah.
Now, this is more so like the New 52.
Yeah. It's very Tim Drake. I said, Tim Drake I didn't like. I just, why? Why are you Tim Drake? Why would New 52 Tim Drake Cotton? New 52 would not that great with Tim Drake. It would have bad than Tim Drake, but
yeah. No, I'm not overly worried about it. I do actually like his Red Robin costume. I think
I'm more about to leave it.
They should probably bring back the Red Robin series. Number one, you could get him like going on new cases. You could get him going, say, maybe doing some undercover work.
Yeah, give him something. Like, start trying to buy a second one of nonsense.
Like,
I did my way down to Urban Legends, and even though my fault on that stupid decision.
Hey, look who's made it! Look who's made it! It's Nerd. Good to see you, Nerd. Nice to see you made it. And yes, we're talking about the webtoon. And this is like moving into the second episode, and I love what they've done here, and it feels like they've come back from a night's work, and now Alfred's already prepared something for him. We of course get who's here.
Definitely Lisa Legend Scars. The copy addict. That's in my favorite Robin.
Yeah, it is, and it's really nice. And even as we have Duke Thomas, I still don't understand why we all come back here. Cassandra Cain.
Yeah. I still don't want to do it.
And all we get is we have a tradition.
Yeah.
And here we move into the dining room, and it's just absolutely amazing. It's gorgeous. they've done a really good job in sort of like presenting this, and I think this would also be good too. Like when they start to bring out the first 10 episodes, that would be the time to start to get the first webtoon graphic novel out as well.
Yeah.
Because I've also noticed with things like Solo Leveling, which is also connected to the webtoons, it too is also like a Korean manhwa. They sort of bring out their manhwas, I think it's every 10 to 12 episodes. And I think presently at the moment, they're probably up to the second or third volume in the physical format. And I think if DC were to follow the same in regards to bringing out, say, the graphic novels in relation to this, but thing is, they would have to be softcover graphic novels. None of this nonsense in regards to making it hardcover. Right? Maybe save the hardcover for later on, like for when you say maybe reach your first 30 to 36 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
You could do it like an omnibus, to which in that you would start to be falling into how a lot of manga do their not just manga volumes, but also their manga omnibuses. And a lot of their manga omnibuses have 3 volumes in it. And that's one way that you could actually begin to catch up with the market, like of what is happening in the world of manga. And I understand that DC do bring out their hardcover omnibuses, but not everyone is a hardcover omnibus collector. And they got to take that in account too. You might have some people who are just straight softcover collectors. But they might also allow for the rare exception for the hardcover collections or the hardcover omnibus. I count myself as one of those readers.
Yeah.
My rare exception, like to the omnibuses or the hardcovers that I do have here, I've got, for example, Kabuki by David Mack, which I still need to read through. I've got the first Ninjak omnibus. It was about the only way that I could get a hold of the early original stuff of Ninjak. And because of what Matt Kint did in the Ninjak, I enjoyed it that much. I thought, hey, I might as well pick up the original stuff and see where it all started. I don't mind that it's hardcover. I'm willing to give it that leeway. And of course, I've got the Batman and Robin omnibus by Peter J. Tomasi, the Super Sons omnibuses, both the first one and the second one with the update, and of course the Superman omnibus. And these are sort of like the things that I will allow a rare exception to the rule. Why? Because number one, I enjoy that particular writer and artist team and the artwork, and I also enjoy the stories. And of course, we jump back into the cookies. And we just hear a bit of a repeat. And then last but not least, I love this scene at the table. I absolutely love this scene at the table.
Yeah, that was great.
And here we go. we see everybody here. Cassandra, Duke, Jason Todd, Bruce Wayne just reading his paper. I love it. Damian sitting right next to him. I love that. Father and son sit next to him.
Yeah, that's cool.
And of course, I think we've got Tim Drake there on the right. The last cookie, and it's inside.
Yeah.
All cool.
Yeah, right. Okay, that.
Well, it's good to see that family training still continues even after a night's work. And Damian, absolutely love it.
I gotta laugh.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, in comes Nathan Todd. We see Tim Drake.
Get him!
Damian back again.
Yeah. That's the word.
He loses it. You think that Batman's gonna have it and take it? No. But last but not least, yeah, he could. Then you see that smirk on his face. That smirk that bring it, okay. And this is an awesome shot. I love this shot. You see everyone in the picture, like everyone that makes up the Bat family.
Yeah.
All minus Bruce Wayne, but it's a great. Yeah. He shows off their skill, or he shows off his skills. Yes, he loses it, but I love whose hand it lands in. You gotta respect that butler. And they're all like, none the worse for wear, I see. Welcome home. And I just like what they've done with Damian here. Just in that small little shot, it says a lot. Like, it really came off well, just for this second issue. And I bring up again, this would be a great opportunity, like, between the end and this bit here where it shows up that every Tuesday, that they could use it to promote present, or like some of the comics trades that are available in this time period, just in this small spot. Like, DC, if you want more money, just promote some of the comics. Like, you could probably fit, like, with how much space is down here, you could probably fit maybe 6 comics down here, or depending on how big you want the pictures, you could like cover some pictures of the trades, including Rebirth, Infinite Frontier. You could promote that in that small little area just to get some more readers that come back to your content. And I do like what is happening with this webtoon. All right, if they continue to keep it free, you're gonna actually help draw your readers in, like draw some of the missing readers that are needed in DC Comics. And let me also include one thing else. By keeping it free, it helps stop the pirating.
Yeah.
That any of the members might want to complain about. But in the process, even though you are promoting this for free, you still have the opportunity to promote comics that are presently out there in the DC universe to read, especially at the end of each of these stories. And it would really help, and I mean it would really help you draw more readers in. And as we move on to the last story, and this actually centers around Barbara Gordon, and I like that they're doing this because, well, she too is a part of the Bat family. And of course she's catching up with her old man, and I like actually that they've actually got for the old man too. He looks more like a red-haired Gordon.
Yeah.
Like we've got the gingers back. To those who don't like the ginger side happening in comics or on screen. And I really like that. And she's catching up with her old man. I love what she's wearing here. But we've also got something else. Yep, we have our Oracle back. We've got the Oracle back in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And I must admit, this is the strongest Barbara Gordon that I enjoy in DC Comics.
Agreed. Same.
Right? Because...
Between this and Taunted Nightwing, I think she is my favorite of Barbara Gordon and Oracle.
Yeah.
Well, and for the James and Damian book.
Yep. And I believe also, I think it was Gail Simone.
Yeah.
Also worked on Barbara Gordon as well as Oracle.
Yeah.
And by what I have heard of that, she delivered some wonderful stories. And I would love to pick up those particular wonderful stories that she did. And it's really nice to see this Barbara Gordon Oracle back. And I must admit, it is something that we are missing in DC Comics. And congrats to like the crew at DC Comics that are doing this through the webtoons. You are on the right track here.
Yeah.
You are really on the right track here, because there are many people, like many DC comic readers, who actually miss this particular Barbara Gordon or this as Oracle, and it's nice to see that. And when it moves like further along in the story, and here he is asking about the library, and like that's the cover job of what she's telling her old man.
Yeah.
And you get to see the discussion pan out, and it's really nice. I like the art here for Jim Gordon here. It really stands out.
Yep.
Like throughout this whole story, it really stands out. And hey, DC, I would freely shill this webtoon. Right? You hear me? DC, I would freely shill this webtoon, even in a live stream, just so you can get more readers, not just of the webtoon, but also of the comics. Because of how much I enjoyed this. Then we've got Batman clearly left Robin instructions, and now I like that when it rings across here, we actually do see Damian in his proper Rebirth costume.
Yeah.
Where it's got like the flap in the center, and this is the costume that it should be for this particular run. And it's the one that connects to Jorge Jimenez and what Patrick Gleason did and all that. It's fantastic, and it works especially for Damian's character, because it's like the only costume of his that I really enjoy the most. Of course, I like the present costume, but what it's missing is what this costume has.
Okay.
Not just the cape, but the way how the costume is made.
And that's funny.
You're still too young to drive the Batmobile. That is fantastic. I love that. It's ambiguous. And the response is what I would expect to hear from Damian. Like, it really captures his character. I'm not overriding the controls for you. Please, no.
No.
That sounds very rewarding. What else happened? And then she moves on to the next thing that happened that day. Oh, thieves are just about to crack the safe. Are you guys? And of course, we see something happening with the Gotham Bank.
Yep.
Oh, bank's totally secure. I'm sure intel's good. And it's sort of like, we learned that, she made a mistake for the day, and it probably won't. Stephanie Brown kicks butts, takes name, loves purple. And and you like see Barbara Gordon working there. And it's like really well done.
Mine did perfect.
But not realizing, oh, you hurt the wrong bank.
That's funny.
Oops.
Oops.
And the reactions are fantastic. They are really fantastic. And the response, not a word to Batman. Duh. About the only thing here that could probably do with a little bit of work is just how some of the vehicles are done down below. Where some are sort of like done right, the others feel a little bit off. But apart from that, this was a really good third episode story. And it's nice to see, like, even Oracle with a little bit of action. And you also see her in her wheelchair.
Yeah.
To which we know it is the legit Oracle Barbara Gordon. And it's fantastic. And it's nice to see her being able to put up a fight for herself because she has actually gone through training.
Yeah.
And that is also known throughout her DC history in the DC universe. But it was really nice to see her interaction with Damian in the story. And this is why I wanted to make this a bit of a Super Sons live stream because it included one of the Super Sons.
Yep.
And of course,
my hope it did succeed. That I'm for this may only do it for Super Sons rebirth or Super Family at the rebirth. Oh, shut that! I'm saying Super Family Webtoon because Super Family Webtoon will be kind of fun. With Carter, John, Crypto.
Yep.
And of course, it's maybe more happy.
Yep. Like I'd even love to see him get Tomasi onto this.
Yeah.
Like, to give us more Super Sons. Yeah, it might be for free, but you know what? You're going to have a lot of happy Super Sons readers.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of happy Super Sons readers. Including ourselves. And it finally moves off towards the end of the story. And then we move on to the end credits. And as you can see here, as it comes to the end of the story, we still see Barbara Gordon in her wheelchair. And that is just fantastic. And it really comes off as a fantastic little story. Inks by Starbite, writing by CRC Payne, Maria Lee for storyboards. And you know what? I don't care if any of them are Korean. I think they did a fantastic job in this.
Same.
Because I enjoyed every episode that came out of this. And I want to say congrats to DC Comics. Because it's nice to see something like this come to an area where it's not very popular known. Maybe I might actually register onto Webtoon itself. And you might see a Tehillim 29 comment.
Same.
And saying, I really enjoyed this. Give us more DC. And if you look at all of these comments just alone, cool, I love Batman comics. Like, that's just one.
Just adorable and
we've got someone
that's adorable.
Damian is so adorable. So already DC are gathering. Oh my freaking goodness, you're kidding. Up to 10 pages or 10 plus pages of comments.
Wow. That was quick.
That is really good. So I imagine that they'd be getting a lot of feedback by seeing this. And that alone shows that, okay, DC, you are starting to go the right direction. Be smart, because this is an area to which a lot of the stuff on here is actually free. And I think by also keeping it free, like to the general public, it is going to help gain more readers to your content. But as I brought up before, at the end, like when you reach the credits of it, you gotta start to use that to promote comics, trades, hardcovers. That is one thing that could actually draw more people to, whether it's using Comixology, other things, or even dropping into their local LCS or local comic book store. Say, oh, I want to pick this up because I watched this, I read through this webtoon thing and it suggested that I might want to read this Super Sons Rebirth.
Yep.
Or because it's got Damian Wayne in it and I enjoyed Damian Wayne in the webtoon. I want to read more of him.
Same. Or shoot a webtoon would be kind of fun.
Or you could even do it to promote even a Red Robin. Even though it might be only available through Comixology, at least it will give them a direction as to where they can go to pick up that particular comic or comic run. Or they still might be able to get it through Amazon, or they might be able to come across even an LCS that sells older trade paperbacks, and they might be able to find that. They might even be able to find the old Tim Drake Robin series because they might have enjoyed Tim Drake's character. Like, you could do something here to which you could help promote each and every character that shows up in the particular episode. Like for Batman, you could go to Batman Rebirth, you could go to the Scott Snyder Batman, or even the Grant Morrison one, like seeing Grant Morrison in also bringing Damian Wayne to the scene. You could lead them to reading Batman and Son, and also the Tomasi Batman and Robin run. Like
also Batman Incorporated.
Yep, Batman Incorporated.
Technically part pre-Flashpoint.
Yes.
Yeah, you destroyed that story, which sucks, because Grant Morrison Batman was great, but then New 52 had to ruin that story.
Yeah.
I don't blame Grant Morrison now. I blame more New 52 in the BS, because it eliminated some key characters in that story.
Yeah, another thing too that they could do as well is, hey, what if Damian went on a play date? But it's not a play date, but you could introduce something from the Super Sons.
Done.
And you can have Damian with John Samuel Ken.
Yeah.
And with that, you could promote at the end of the story, pick up the Super Sons Rebirth, pick up the Super Sons. What was the next one? There was Challenge.
Yeah, Super Sons first, then Challenge.
Adventures of the Super Sons.
Yes.
And that was real. Like, you could promote all three of those titles, like, because it showed those characters at the end of the story. And you could have someone go into their local comic store, say, I read this webtoon online, and one of the things that it suggested that I might enjoy more of these characters of is because it showed, Super Sons at the end of it. What do you have, Super Sons? I want to read more of these characters. Do you have the Super Sons Rebirth? Instant sale, DC Comics. That would be instant sale.
Yep.
Because not only are you promoting it this way very free, like in a free way, but you are also promoting interest in your product even more.
Yep.
And with channels like my own and even Tevye's that also enjoy things Super Sons related and things in relation to the Super Sons characters, we are literally free shills for your content. You don't have to freaking pay a cent to us. We would do it for free just because we love the characters. Right? That's the thing. And we do love these characters. Like, I enjoy Tim Drake. Yeah, he's not my favorite Robin, but I understand that there are some people to which he is actually their favorite. I respect.
He's taking my favorite Robin.
Yeah, like, and that is all fine. And I enjoyed seeing the little interaction here between Damian and also Tim Drake too, and also Red Hood. And
yeah,
like, it was really good. It was really nice to see that. But let's also show them other places where they can see very similar interactions with those characters, where they will actually get more of like a current depth of character. Like, you could literally bring this to the origins, like first time Damian Wayne showed up to where they are now presently in the stories. Like, you could even promote the Robin, the present Robin run, like at the end of these stories, like, because Damian Wayne Robin is in the story.
yeah.
And you could promote the Joshua Williamson at the end of it, like, or even you could prepare to show the first trade paperback that is going to be in connection to the Robin run. Yeah, it might not be announced yet, but you know what? You start to make the preparations, have it show up on something like this. I want to read more about this Robin. You could have someone read. And here they go, oh, if I want to read more about this Robin, I can go to this, because it now suggests it at the end credits. And it really will let the readers know where they can go. Now, how they go about reading it, whether they do choose to read it like the freeway or whatever else, like, even after they read that, they might go, like, and that's their choice as well, their choice of how they choose to read it. And if they really enjoy it enough, like even with Duke Thomas, they've got the Batman Signal trade paperback which came out.
You could one shot.
Yeah, you could promote that particular trade paperback which came out in the Rebirth era, linking to the DC Metal type stuff, or the DC Metal event, and the second one too. You could promote that trade paperback because you have this character covered in the cast. And so, in other words, you'll help promoting the cast of characters at the end of the story by showing them materials to which that they can be read in. Mm-hmm. Whether it's Tim Drake, whether it's Barbara Gordon, right?
Cassandra Cain.
Yep, you can show all of those characters. Spoiler. And if there are any other guest characters that might turn up in the series, like, you can even promote their trades as well. And that, I think, would be fantastic for DC by doing that, right? Because that's the only area where I feel, especially at the end credits of the story, is where you could use it to promote DC comic materials. Not at the beginning, save it for the end. So, in other words, the end part, the end credits, is actually promoting free advertisement. And with channels like this and others, I even noticed another channel which is clearly more so anime, manga related, by the name of Reviews. And I do happen to follow his channel. I don't care that he's got more followers than me, but it was actually really nice to see him actually talk about this particular webtoon, because it even gave him a little bit of insight as to how things might actually work in the Bat family household. And goodness knows how many people viewed his channel. and watch that. If I were to guess, probably over 500 viewers. Now, that's more than what I bloody get, but that's neither here or there.
Yeah.
I'll say one thing. If I ever reach 500 plus subs on this channel, because of some of the new things that are happening with YouTube, I want to use the community tab, to which they're now working on getting rid of the discussion tab. And I must admit, I like using the discussion tab, but with YouTube getting rid of that discussion tab, the only time we'd basically have the return of the community the tab that was there, is by getting 500 subs. And I'd like to use the community tab, like when I reach the community tab, to help promote channels that might have maybe less than 500 subs, but also use it to help promote channels that I personally enjoy. So not only will my subscribers see that, okay, I enjoy like going over to this channel and some of the content that they share, and also help use it to promote like smaller channels that might have less videos so that they can get more subs. And I'd love to do it. And in fact, I'd like to see that happen a little bit more with like people in the YouTube community to help do that. Because, yeah, whether you're in your thousands or whatever, it doesn't hurt to help the smaller channels, because use it to help build up others and help encourage others. And if they happen to say, oh, I subscribed to your channel because this channel recommended me check you out. And hey, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But let's help these other channels build up their numbers, because there are still a number of channels which would like to be even monetized. And I know I'm not at that level yet, but I appreciate every subscriber to my channel. And you are all a blessing. I mean it. You are all a blessing. And that's why I even mention at the end of my videos, have an awesome day. Why? Because I want you to enjoy your day. Not just me to enjoy my day, but also for you to enjoy your day. Like if it's watching something about a comic that you enjoy your day doing that. If it's reading or reviewing comics or whatever else, you enjoy doing that. We all want to have an awesome day, considering we can experience a lot of negativity, especially with like some of the present things that are happening at the moment.
Too much negativity.
Yeah.
I can't wait till be. I really go to bed.
Yeah. Well, I was actually thinking of beginning to end the broadcast anyway.
Okay.
And thank you so much for making it, Tevier.
Anytime, man.
You're always welcome. And it would have been nice to have Sean turn up as well. GTS Reborn.
I guess he's busy.
Yeah, I guess so too. But still promoted his channel. You know, he was unable to make it, but that's neither here or there. But I really enjoyed this, and I hope you have an awesome day. And we'll see you again at the Super Sons Fortress of Attitude. Now, this week in the DC Comics, I believe the next issue of Challenge of the Super Sons is coming out. But with a lot of the stuff that's happening here with the parcel delays, a lot of my comic reviews are going to be delayed. And that includes catching up with Challenge of the Super Sons for its revisiting. It's something out of my control, but I'm glad I was able to share this about the webtoon. And also getting to see one of the Super Sons that we really enjoy. Well, we'll see you again at Super Sons Fortress of Attitude. Hopefully, the next video that will go up will be addressing the Super Sons. Should be Challenge of the Super Sons Revisited, issue 6, which will cover chapters 11 and 12 from the digital. I am really looking forward to that.